Race leader Michael Rasmussen lost credibility in the eyes of some when it emerged that he'd been warned by the UCI and dropped by his national team for missing out-of-competition drugs tests. Having taken several and failed none at the Tour, though, he was backed by race director Christian Prudhomme.
Quelques interrogations me semble-t-il légitimes à ce stade. Pourquoi maintenant, alors que l'avertissement date du 29 juin? Pourquoi M. Voreux a-t-il attendu le 19 juillet au soir, en plein Tour de France, avec Rasmussen en jaune, pour donner ces éléments qu'il avait à sa disposition à la fin du mois de juin? Pourquoi ne s'est-il pas exprimé le 30 juin, le 1er juillet, le 2 juillet, en tout cas avant le départ du Tour de France?
And then the race leader, protected by a ring of gendarmes playing Ring of Roses, was off to ride the race. 178.5 kilometres from Montpellier to Castres, with 3 small climbs and 1 more substantial one inside the last 60 kilometres. And there's the general classification. Rasmussen, Valverde, Mayo, Evans, Contador and Sastre the top 6. Andreas Klöden the best placed of the rest, an ominous 7th, 350 back and looking towards the time trial. 167 men left in the race, including the yellow jersey, and 2 of them got away up the road, both of them riding for phone companies. Bouygues Telecom's Pierrick Fedrigo and Amet's Cheruka of Euskaltel.
Well, they are throwing everything into the chase here, and it could be a catch right in the home straight. These boys are defying the peloton, and it is a terrific race into Castres. 4 kilometres to go. The gap at 5 was 32 seconds. It might be now 25 seconds. We'll know in a minute or so. They will begin to think they might just get in by the skin of their racing shorts.
Well, they will not give up until they can feel the main field behind them. There's no organisation now. This is not a very good chase. It's turning over towards the advantage of the 2 leaders. And at a point like this, when you follow 2 men out at the front end of the race, you want them to survive. It's 22 seconds now, Phil, at 4 kilometres to go. That really is not very much. But the 2 men at the front will not give up. They'll keep fighting. Tom Boonen now looking calm and collected, pushing his radio button there to talk to the team manager. What do they look like at the front? Are we going to catch them? But he's still got to stay there and wait until the last moment.
If they continue to gain at the current rate, they will catch them 250 yards before the finishing line. And I can't believe that they can't win now if they really... To look at the face of this little man here. Amet Cheruka, the lightest man in the race. He weighs 56 kilograms and he's a climber and he's desperate and he's at 3 kilometres.
3 kilometres to go, and I'll tell you one thing, if they look over their shoulder now, Phil, in these long straight roads, their main field will be right behind them, but they can't give up. They've got to believe right until the moment that they get caught that they will survive. The main field there is waiting to pounce, and under that banner there, it's just 13 seconds.
They're saying 15, let's give them 15 as they go under that banner now. 15, that was 10 seconds off in that kilometre. As they now come relentlessly, these are the boys in blue, the men of the rider in green, Tom Boonen trying to lead him to the line. Eric Zabel's boys in the light blue are getting mixed into this now. This is going to be a desperate finish because these 2 riders are confusing the teams of the sprinters now. They should have been caught by now. They should be thinking of the sprint win. Instead, they're still having to chase 2 riders.
Well, that's the traffic island there at just around about 2.3 kilometres to go. That would slow down the main field. A couple of guys have gone the wrong way. Sorry, mate, I think you're going to lose a few places in the line when it lines up again. But there is the red car behind the 2 leaders. That's the car of the race referee. It's being pulled forward. It's an open road now for these 2 men. As they look back, they can see this big black mass behind them charging down. That's no longer 10 seconds. The blue mass on the front is Team Quickstep, and they are now looking at these riders. It is so close indeed. That's less than 10 seconds.
Well, it might just be 10 seconds, but they're closing fast now. Fedrigo has looked over his shoulder. He knows the catch will come probably when he looks up ahead and sees the red kite in the road, signifying 1 kilometre to go. Caught 1 kilometre from the finish. They've been in the lead since the 52nd kilometre. The sprinters of Tom Boonen still drive on. They still live in hope, these 2. Certainly the little Spanish boy does.
I just noticed Julian Dean moving up to the front there, and right on his jersey was a green and white mass, and that was big Thor Hushoff. Thor Hushoff may well now have got himself back into this race. Boonen is up there into fourth. On his shoulder there is Julian Dean. These riders are only just getting caught, Phil, over on the left-hand side. But Liquigas now are trying to pull Pipo Pozzato up to the front.
Well, I think they've been caught at about 800 metres from the line here as the field has taken over. Pozzato's boys at 1 kilometre was the catch. At 1 kilometre to go, the domestics swing off now and look in the hope that the big sprinters will take it up. And Tom Bonen has got a perfect shot at this in third.
Well, his team now are lining it up. This is the train, the blue train of Tom Bonen. The man in second position is Herk Stegmans, the winner of the stage, into Geddes, and he's going to try and launch Bonen into the attack. Locked on his wheel is Eric Zabel. Locked onto Zabel's wheel is Robbie Hunter, and locked a little bit further back is Daniele Benati. Look at the pain, the anger, the fear of these men as Stegmans opens it up for Bonen.
Well, as they start now, the man in white who grits his teeth as the champion in New Zealand, that is Julian Dean now. This is the final lead out for Tom Bonen as Stegmans comes, and there's a kick on the far right. Bonen goes now, Sebastian Chavanel on the far, and now Zabel has got the wheel of Bonen, and Hunter's still there. Hunter dodging with Zabel. Zabel might get the better here of Bonen. Bonen gets it, Zabel, Hunter. What a result, and the sprinters are back.
Nonetheless, Michael Rasmussen led the race into the first long time trial of the Tour, where men like Cadel Evans in fourth and Andreas Klöden in seventh were expected to relieve him of the yellow jersey and bump the story back down the news agenda.